Good evening, I'm Masteuiatsh. Welcome to APTN National News. A 3-day premiers meeting in Huntsville, Ontario wrapped up on Wednesday. On Monday, Indigenous leaders met with the premiers in a roughly 2-hour meeting to voice their concerns on various issues, including future resource development projects. APTN's Fraser Needham has reaction from 2 of the leaders who took part in those meetings and brings us this report.
On Monday, members of the Assembly of First Nations, Chiefs of Ontario, Métis National Council, and Native Women's Association of Canada got an audience with Canada's premiers. APTN National Chief Cindy Woodhouse-Neepanak says the meeting was cordial, but First Nations want the provinces to be more inclusive when it comes to First Ministers' meetings.
I said it's so important that First Nations people have a proper full seat around the table. And you want to come in here and you want to talk about big projects, and at the same time, we need to talk about some uncomfortable truths.
Temagami First Nation Chief Shelley Moore-Frappia agrees both the federal and provincial governments need to do a better job of including First Nations in the decision-making process rather than after decisions have already been made.
We got to stop the after the fact, after the decisions are made, and then play catch-up. So we're really talking about if we want to really see true reconciliation, the economic reconciliation, we have to be at the table right from the beginning when decisions are being made.
Last week, Prime Minister Mark Carney met with First Nations leaders in Gatineau, Quebec. On Thursday, he will meet with Inuit leaders in Inuvik, Northwest Territories. Indigenous Services Minister Mandy Galmasti was at the Gatineau meeting, and she will be at the Prime Minister's side again in Inuvik. She says these meetings are only the first steps and there will be much more to come.
There's going to be those follow-up tables, regional discussions, engaging more at the community level, coming to understand what is the approach, provincially with the relationship to the Indigenous communities that are within those provinces. How are we going to look at that lens moving forward? Still a lot of work to do. Of course, always room for improvement. Nothing's perfect.
Carney has also pledged to meet with Métis leaders in August. Fraser Needham, APTN National News, Ottawa.
And Prime Minister Mark Carney is currently on his way to Inuvik, Northwest Territories to meet with Inuit leaders and discuss the controversial Bill C-5. Earlier today, Carney also visited his hometown of Fort Smith. Our Dennis Ward is also in Fort Smith for a one-on-one interview with Prime Minister Carney, a first for APTN News with this new Liberal government. He joins us now to give us a preview.
Thanks. Yes, we are here in beautiful Fort Smith, Northwest Territories. As the Prime Minister came home today, he met with people at the local community center, where one person was holding up a sign saying, "We love you, Mark, but scrap Bill C-5." So we toured around to a couple of places with the Prime Minister, and then we had the long-awaited one-on-one with the PM, which we've been trying to get for a few months now, and we will have more on that on the website tonight, as well on TV in the coming days.
Thank you, Dennis. The search for a Cree woman who went missing from Big River First Nation in Saskatchewan on June 5th has been found deceased. According to Big River RCMP, human remains were found last Friday on July 18th in a remote rural area west of the small town of Victor. On Tuesday afternoon, RCMP confirmed in a press release that the remains belong to 40-year-old Sherry Michelle Aheneque. The Aheneque family has been notified and victim services are being provided to the family. RCMP says Aheneque's death is considered suspicious in nature, and they're asking anyone who knows what happened to Aheneque to come forward and call RCMP or Crime Stoppers. In a statement posted to social media, Michelle's daughter, Haisha Aheneque, said, "This has all been a lot to process. The remains that were found were confirmed by RCMP to be my sweet mother. She was not burnt. She was not dismembered. These were all horrible rumors. First, I want to thank God, then thank all of you who've helped search, cook, and who came to visit with us. Also, thank you all for following my mother's case and for constantly sharing my posts. I appreciate and love you all." The family says funeral arrangements are now underway and a funeral will be held on Friday, but they did not provide a location. Michelle Aheneque is from the Atakakoop Cree Nation near Shell Lake. The location of the remains is just on the outskirts of Big River, the First Nation where Aheneque went missing. As the Federation of Sovereign Indigenous Nations undergoes a forensic audit, one of the First Nations they represent is calling for transparency from the FSIN. APTN video journalist Rachel May spoke with a chief who says his community wants answers.
Chief Kirby Constant of James Smith Cree Nation says he's been left in the dark.
Nobody told us us the chiefs of how much is missing or how much is not being accounted for. Or I'm not saying that they did anything. I'm just saying that what are they not telling us?
James Smith Cree Nation released a statement on July 14th calling on the FSIN to be transparent regarding the forensic audit. Chief Constant said that last year he raised concerns about FSIN's handling of COVID-19 funds. He says ISC allocated $6.5 million for personal protective equipment during the pandemic for James Smith, but only received $5.5 million, with $1 million explained as admin fees. The audit launched by Indigenous Services Canada in March 2024 is reviewing all funding sent to FSIN since April 2019. The KPMG auditing firm and ISC are conducting the audit. With only phase 1 of the audit complete, Constant says it's critical to keep First Nations updated. He's calling on FSIN to share any findings so far and to release a statement when the final report is done.
I really hope if there was any misappropriation of funding, that something does happen, and if it does, there's steps taken to rectify this so that this doesn't happen again.
Rachel May, APTN National News, Saskatoon.
More communities in northern Saskatchewan have been ordered to evacuate this week due to wildfires. The evacuated communities include Canoe Lake, Canoe Narrows, the northern hamlets of Coal Bay and Jans Bay, the resort subdivisions of Lac La Plonge and Little Amiot Lake, the villages of Beauval and Pine House, Isla Cross, Montreal Lake Cree Nation, La Plonge Indian Reserve, and Pachinak and English River First Nation. As of Tuesday, the Saskatchewan Public Safety Agency says there are 2,800 evacuees, with 11 communities under evacuation order. And there are now 50 active wildfires burning throughout the province. Environment Canada says widespread smoke will continue to be an issue in Saskatoon on Wednesday. So far, there has been 385 wildfires in Saskatchewan this year, compared to 407 for all of last year. We're always looking for your feedback or story ideas. Here's how you can continue the conversation with us. If you have a story you want to share, send us an email to news@aptn.ca. And to read and watch our stories, you can go to aptnnews.ca. And you can also find us online on your favorite social media sites, including TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. Follow APTN News to join the conversation and see our latest stories. Manitoba's minister responsible for accessibility, Nahani Fontaine, has announced new funding recipients for accessibility projects. From municipalities to businesses, the province hopes the money will create a barrier-free Manitoba everyone can enjoy. Here's APTN reporter Sav Jonesa with more.
The Manitoba government is looking to make the province more accessible for its residents and visitors living with disabilities. Through this year's Manitoba Accessibility Fund, more than $800,000 will go to businesses, nonprofit organizations, and municipalities with projects to remove barriers and create awareness.
From accessible wayfinding in museums to inclusive programming in libraries, schools, and art organizations, from rural municipalities to urban centers, these projects are helping us imagine and realize a better Manitoba for all.
Projects from 34 organizations have been selected for the grants. This is the fourth year of the fund, which has provided more than $3 million to 142 recipients so far. The Arts Accessibility Network Manitoba won an award for their project last year. It audited different arts venues across Winnipeg and Brandon to see if they met various accessibility needs.
We got together with the community in 2022 and across 3 or 4 different online sessions, we spoke with the community to say, what do you need to participate in the arts? And so that is the impetus for our audit. And this way we can collect the information that all members need, and it's all in one place. So they just have to go to our website, the database is there, and they can get all the accessibility information they need.
Despite being 25 years into a new millennium, Janelle Shaw says people living with disabilities still need to fight to get their needs met.
So there's these additional steps that are often put on people with disabilities, and because oftentimes it takes us longer to do things, it just really compounds just our ability and our energy to work. So it's really important that we continue to advocate that, that we continue to just push the ball on accessibility, because a lot of people are really interested, but they don't know how to go forward. Right?
Shaw says it's important to meaningfully consult those impacted by accessibility barriers when looking to break them down. Sav Jones, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
APTN's Sarah Connors is up next after the break with a story about a young woman who has dreams in becoming a pilot. We'll be right back with that story. Welcome back. A young Casca woman is chasing her dreams of becoming a commercial pilot, and while she's been successful with flying, a few obstacles are still standing in her way of becoming fully certified. APTN's Sarah Connors has that story.
25-year-old commercial pilot student Amber Jensen loves being up in the air and the freedom it gives her.
There's like nowhere I couldn't go, really. So it's kind of a nice feeling because you just feel like you just do whatever.
But Jensen's dream of becoming a pilot is taking longer than expected. The Day Lieutenant Council member has been waiting 10 months for a medical certificate from Transport Canada, a requirement she needs to fly solo. Without 100 solo hours, she can't get her commercial pilot license.
It's annoying in a way and kind of like discouraging.
Jensen feels the holdup is likely due to her past struggles with addiction. Now sober for over 2 years, she was honest with Transport Canada about her past drug and alcohol use. She says the federal department wants numerous assessments like drug and alcohol testing and support letters to ensure she's medically fit to fly. While Jensen understands the requirements and has done all that Transport Canada has asked, she says the wait has been frustrating.
It's kind of like I worked hard to like forget my past and stuff like that, and now that it's coming to bite me in the ass, it's just like a reminder.
Not helping matters is the fact she's under a time crunch. Jensen is a commercial pilot student at a flight school program for Kaska people in Faro, 4 hours north of Whitehorse. But the program, which is only temporary, closes in November. If Jensen doesn't get her medical certificate soon, she may have to finish her schooling here in Whitehorse, which she says comes with its own set of challenges.
That'd probably be in just overall having to balance a work life within flying if I wanted to get it done in a decent timely manner. I do, yeah.
The chief instructor of the program agrees the process is taking too long.
It's quite tragic because she really hasn't done anything wrong. In fact, she's done everything right by taking care of herself.
Transport Canada said in a statement to APTN News that it couldn't comment on Jensen's case specifically, but did say the determination of fitness to fly can be a complex process and a risk assessment approach is applied to every decision. And Transport Canada always recommends that prospective aviators ensure that they are eligible for medical certification before making any financial commitments to training. As for Jensen, she says Transport Canada is proposing she submit to 2 years of continuing drug and alcohol testing. Once that's completed, she'll get her full medical certificate. Whether she decides to take that option or not, she's determined to get the work done.
I'm just going to keep pushing through because hopefully we can find a solution because every problem comes with a solution.
Sarah Connors, APTN National News, Whitehorse.
We have photo of the day and weather up next, plus we'll tell you about a shared passion for music and creativity and how these two Inuit men are strumming up something good. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Time now for our photo of the day. At just 2 years old, Dawson Shade from the Blood Tribe in Alberta looks like a cow wrangling pro. His mom, Megan, took this photo at a rodeo where Dawson was cheering on his family. Thank you for the cute picture, Megan. For the chance to be our next photo of the day, send us your pictures to share@aptn.ca. Now let's take a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. St. John's 24, Charlottetown 25. 22 in Cartwright, Happy Valley, Goose Bay 26 in rain. Saskatchewan 25 in showers there, Quebec City 30. Ottawa 34, Toronto 35. 25 in Sioux Lookout, Wawa 23. Puckatawagan 23, God's Lake 22 and partly cloudy. Rain in Gimli at 25, Brandon 26. 26 in Regina, Smoky in Yorkton at 25. Smoky in La Ronge at 24, Buffalo Narrows 22 in showers there. 18 in High Level, Fort McMurray 22 in showers. 27 in Calgary, Medicine Hat 28 and sunny there. Vancouver 23, Penticton 31. 17 in Fort Nelson, Dease Lake 16. Old Crow 20, Mayo 19 in showers. Rain in Fort Simpson at 27, Wati 22. Tuktoyaktuk sunny there at 9, Palatuk 12. Whale Cove 14, Arvey at 15 in showers. And Arctic Bay 6, Groulx 11 and partly cloudy. What began as a light-hearted idea among friends has now gradually evolved into a promising business venture. Fueled by a shared passion for music and a spirit of creativity, Two Inuit Men's modest project is now gaining momentum. APTN's Kim Sullivan brings us the story behind Masteuiatsh Guitars.
Finalement, ça va donner un bon produit, hein, Marc? On est parti de ça, on est arrivé à ça. C'est vraiment beau.
There are two of them, passionate about music and wood. Their dream, to create handmade guitars right here in the Inuit community of Masteuiatsh in Quebec.
Tous les petits moments qu'on est capable de trouver pour travailler ensemble dans l'atelier, on le fait. C'est comme ce matin à 5h30.
Today, that dream has been realized even in professional studios. Initially, however, Mathieu Grégoire and Danny Lachance started out making furniture.
Fait qu'on a starté la compagnie qu'on a appelée Masteuiatsh, qui voulait dire bois. Puis on est tous les deux guitaristes. Puis un midi, on est en train de dîner tous les deux ensemble. Puis on s'est comme dit, hey, on essaie-tu de faire des guitares électriques? Un peu à la blague. Puis finalement, ça l'a déboulé.
To do this, they undertook training at the Quebec School of Luthery on the manufacture of electric guitars. After more than 2 years of trial and error, they finally had a product that lived up to their expectations.
On est tout le temps fiers quand on sort nos guitares d'ici et on joue avec. Mathieu, c'est notre testeur de guitare. Puis Mathieu, c'est un bon soliste. Fait que quand on l'entend jouer, on est content. Là, on sait qu'on a une belle guitare qui sort de l'atelier.
Canadian country artist Matt Lang's touring guitarist Étienne Joly was also impressed and contacted them with a proposal.
On s'en va donner un show à Robertval en juillet. Fait qu'il dit, si tu veux, on est prêts à jouer avec tes guitares.
So in July 2024, Matt Lang also took the stage with a Masteuiatsh guitar. Since then, Matt Lang has been traveling the world with not one, but 2 Masteuiatsh guitars, and he'll have a third one in October. APTN News asked how it felt to see their creation on stage.
C'est indescriptible. Puis, à la limite, c'est quasiment comme une drogue, là, c'est euphorique aussi. Là, non, c'est un beau feeling, c'est un beau feeling.
What makes a Masteuiatsh guitar so unique? Artists who have tried them say that the magic is in the neck.
Ah oui, c'est beau ça. Ouais, on va tout changer de manche, on va pas penser à cette manche-là.
Je te dirais juste en la plaçant, puis juste en en touchant le derrière du manche, tu voyais qu'il y avait un certain potentiel. Puis, c'était pas banal, là.
The wood used for Masteuiatsh guitars is also carefully chosen, selecting wood species that allows them to create guitars that can't be found in stores. Masteuiatsh also adds a little secret that might explain the unique energy of a Masteuiatsh.
Je ne l'ai jamais dit à Dani, ça. Ce que je fais, quand je façonne un corps, je fais juste le toucher un petit peu, puis je me ferme les yeux. Puis après ça, ça dure environ 2-3 secondes. Après ça, ben là, c'est fait. Je remercie aussi le bois de s'offrir à moi un peu.
These guitars are also the beginning of a bigger dream.
Même si moi et Mathieu, on savait pas que ça allait décoller vite comme ça, on avait quand même un but. Le but, c'était on veut redonner à la communauté le plus possible. Des magasins de musique, il n'y en a pas ici. Puis on aimerait ça avoir l'atelier de musique, on aimerait ça avoir le magasin de musique, puis même avoir un petit endroit à côté où ce que les gens vont pouvoir venir jouer de la musique.
And finally, now that Matt Lang owns Masteuiatsh guitars, which artists would Masteuiatsh and Danny like to see strumming their 6 strings?
Chris Stapleton, on aimerait ça un jour. S'il peut entendre parler de nous autres, si on peut l'approcher, j'aimerais bien ça qu'il y ait une de nos guitares un jour.
APTN National News contacted Chris Stapleton's team, but has not heard back. Yet. Who knows? Maybe this dream will come true too. Kim Sullivan, APTN National News, Inuit community of Masteuiatsh in Quebec.
The former CEO of the Native Women's Association of Canada has died. Lynn Groulx was only 61 years of age. According to her obituary, Groulx was a proud member of the Métis Nation of Ontario. She died last Wednesday in her hometown of Cochrane in Northern Ontario. Groulx started advocating for Indigenous women's rights in 1974 when NWAC was founded. She became executive director in 2016 and was named one of Canada's most powerful women in 2018. She helped bring the multi-million-dollar NWAC headquarters in Gatineau, Quebec to reality and helped build 2 healing lodges for Indigenous women. The headquarters and lodges are now for sale, with NWAC saying they are getting back to its core mandate of advocacy. Groulx's time with NWAC ended in April of 2024 during internal turmoil within the organization. In a statement in Lynn Groulx's obit, it reads in part, "She will be remembered as a fierce advocate for justice, a tireless community leader, and a compassionate presence in the lives of many." And that's your evening newscast for this Wednesday. We're back again for your daytime newscast tomorrow. Plus, Dennis Ward will have part 1 of his interview with Prime Minister Mark Carney. Please join us then. From all of us at APTN National News, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Excellent.